welcome to Kitchen Basics 101, where I teach you the bare bone basics as if you've never cooked a day in your life from the perspective of a mom. Okay, I thought I would answer this question while prepping some bacon. So I do not meal prep in the traditional sense, in that I do not prep meals. So that's just a personal preference. I commend people who do. But for me, I don't really use the microwave. I'm not a big fan of the microwave or leftovers. That's just a personal preference thing. I'm a super, super picky eater, guys. Super picky, and I have food allergies. So it's a combination. So I personally just don't meal prep. What I do in my weekly prep, though, is I prep things that make making a meal or eating a food easier. And what I mean by that is that I will pre-prep, like I'm doing right now, bacon. This question comes from a video where I was prepping for the week roasted peppers, which I'm pretty sure my husband already ate all of. So they did not last the week. But what I do to help myself make fresh meals and eat a little bit healthier is I will pre-prep things that make making something else easier. Some people are thinking bacon's for breakfast. So, okay, you pre-roast the bacon, so what? You have bacon for breakfast. Which, sure, you can totally pre-roast your bacon like I'm about to do, and you can have bacon for breakfast. But if I have pre-roasted bacon in my refrigerator, right, for the week, I can also make like these breakfast sandwiches for my daughter. So when she asks me for a breakfast sandwich, I don't have to cook up bacon. All I have to do is take the bacon out. I'll maybe pop in the microwave, but I don't even usually do that. I'll cook up an egg and I'll throw it on toast. And now what would normally take me, let's say 30 minutes to make from scratch, takes me 4 or 5 minutes to whip up for her. So I'm more inclined to make the breakfast sandwich for her. I'll pre-make the breakfast sandwich sauce. I'll pre-roast the bacon. And then every day when she wants her breakfast sandwich, it literally just takes me 5 minutes to cook an egg and assemble everything. Does that make sense? Let's say you're having a salad. I can chop up a piece of bacon and throw it on top of my salad because the bacon's already cooked in there. I'm not gonna cook bacon just to put it on top of my salad, right? But bacon does add some deliciousness. Let's say I'm like, oh, I'm gonna make a quick little pasta, right? I have already cooked bacon in there that I can throw into my pasta dish. Or sometimes I just want a high protein snack, right? I'm like, ooh, I'm running a little low on fuel. I want a snack. I can grab a piece of cooked bacon right out of the fridge. So when I say that I do meal prep, I do ingredient prep to make it easier. Just like washing the produce and putting it in a mason jar already clean and ready to eat is more likely that I'll eat the strawberries or whatever is in there. And this idea is not original. This is actually how professional kitchens work. Like, let's say you're doing a mirepoix, you're making a soup or a stew or a stock or a pasta dish, and you need onions, celery, and carrots, right? In a professional kitchen, there is already pre-chopped up onions, celery, and carrots in the refrigerator, and they just have to pull it out and throw it in the pan, right? They're not in there individually chopping one celery and one carrot and one onion every time you order a dish, right? So that's where this prep inspiration comes from. Instead of like meal prepping, I prep ingredients. So here's the things that I do pretty much every week. Because this is what I use in my house, I pre-prep a pound, sometimes 2 pounds of bacon. I put it on a big roasting sheet like this. I roast it in the oven at 400 degrees for like 20-25 minutes until it gets good and crispy. This bacon is very thick, super thick. So if you're using a thin bacon, it happens even quicker, and you can probably do it at a lower temp, 350, 375. I also, we hard boil eggs. My husband likes to do them baked in the oven. So we bake a dozen eggs in the oven, and then we have hard boiled eggs for the week. I roast peppers, because my husband loves peppers. So I do 6 or 12 roasted peppers for the week. I will pre-boil potatoes. So if I want a hash brown or a roasted potato, or I want to have a any kind of potato, I just pre-boil them in some salted water. I put them in the fridge. Then when you want to do it, I can shred up a potato into a pan with some butter and have hash browns in like 2 minutes. It makes a huge difference. Okay, maybe 5 minutes. Maybe it takes a little longer to get them brown, but you see my point. So it was bacon, peppers, potatoes, hard-boiled eggs. Oh, I make croissants. I do the Trader Joe's croissants so that they're ready to go. I proof them, I bake them, I put them in a container So whenever my kids want to have one, they're here. They're good for a couple of days or a week. I'll pre-make a couple cups of rice and pop it in the fridge. So then we have rice all week. You can just warm it up with your dish, or you can warm it up in the microwave. These are all things that I personally prep. Now in a professional kitchen, and if you are making, more involved meals, I think a good thing to prep would be mirepoix, which would be like celery, onions, carrots, chop it up, have it ready, or peel and chop up your garlic. I do that, but I put it like for months. I puree up my garlic and I put it in the freezer so that I have it available for me anytime I want to use it. Oh, that's my cue to put my bacon in. Hold on. I just put my bacon in the oven. I just want to show you I'm making it because this is how much is left of the last pound that I made of bacon. So it comes nice and crispy. I'll eat it right from here, to be honest. Cold out of the fridge. If I'm making a breakfast sandwich for my kid, I'll throw it into a skillet for a minute and it's nice and warm and crispy for her again. You could also pre-chop up fresh herbs and have it ready in a container. You can pre-make vinaigrette, or like I said, I make my breakfast sandwich sauce and I keep it in a little glass mason jar. So whenever she wants a sandwich, sauce is ready, bacon's ready. I just toast the bread and make an egg and I'm ready to go. So I hope that helps. Think of it like a restaurant. What can you pre-prep just to make it easier to cook the meals? You know what I mean? Peel and dice up some carrots, sticks, and put them in the fridge in a mason jar so that when you want to eat a carrot, it's right there. Boom, you can grab it. Instead of buying those baby carrots, it's way cheaper and healthier and tastier in my opinion. You can have a million different things prepped and ready. I do a lot of berries. That's all I can think of right now. I hope that answered your question. I hope it was helpful. Let me know if you guys have more questions. I love answering questions. So I hope you guys have a great day. Love you. Bye.